Hello everybody, Benjamin Magnus here, aka the Dapper Gamer, continuing my series in Kerbal Space Program, and today I'm going to be doing something a little more ambitious than I'm used to, and what I'm going to attempt to do is use this spacecraft I've constructed to go to Duna and Ike. Those are the only two contracts I have active right now, Explore Duna and Explore Ike, and I'm really hoping I can do it with this really shitty looking spacecraft. I mean, it looks like just this hobbled together mess right now. And I have failed maybe 8-10 times trying to get this thing into orbit in different configurations. I might treat you to a little montage of my destruction, but we're going to try to launch this thing into orbit, and when we get up there, if we're successful, I'll show you what all this different stuff does and what I'm hoping to accomplish. The main problem I've had with this spacecraft is stability. It tends to get a little wobbly, so we're going to give it a launch and see how it goes. Alright. I see the little strut connectors in there seem to have solved my stability situation for now at least, so I will rejoin you when I'm in orbit. Alright, here we are in orbit. I made it with a little bit of fuel left in these outside tanks here, which surprised me a little bit. I didn't expect to have anything left in them. So what I need to do now is and actually what I'm going to do is, I turned on the lights here so you can see my ship better. I know when you upload these things that it gets really dark, so turn off the light so I don't drain the battery. Don't need to be doing that. What I need to do is just plot an escape course that'll get me around the sun, and then I can make a shot for Duna here. So that shouldn't be too difficult. All I need to do is burn in any given direction, basically like this. Long enough to plot a nice escape course that should put me on a nice trajectory. Maybe a little closer to what I was to Kerbin's path here, so probably this way a little bit like that. Yeah, like that. Now let's see if I can do it with less speed. Right about there should do the trick. Okay, pretty easy to plot that kind of course. Now all I have to do is wait till I get to my node to where I'm supposed to burn, and make sure I don't run out of electricity. And I have some solar panels here, but I don't want to extend them because the tanks are in the way. But I do have one little one right here on the lander section. I'll extend that one, so hopefully it'll get a little exposure in a second when I come around the curve of the planet here and get some sun. Actually, maybe I should rotate this guy a little bit so it gets some better sun exposure. Alright, there we go. Okay, so I'm just going to wait until we're at our node, and then we'll burn. Okay, we're just about there, so it's time to initiate our burn. We'll just crank our engines all the way up. I've got two big old mainsail engines powering this right now, which is not something I expected. I kind of thought I'd run out of fuel with these boosters before I got into orbit, but that's just works out better for me. Oh, there we go. I think they just ran out of fuel. Yep, they just burned out, so we can get rid of those. Don't need them anymore. And now all I need to do is, what is this guy? Oh, I didn't think that through entirely. I do not want to use this separator here right now, so I need to add in another section, and we'll pop him down there, and now we'll activate the atomic rocket motors right here. Like that. There we go. These are the ones I was planning on using to actually, do most of my maneuvering, because they are extremely efficient once you are in a vacuum. And I've used these rocket motors maybe once before, and I think I only used one of them. I've surely never used 4 of them. And I put 4 on here because I have a big old fuel tank and a big old spacecraft, a lot of weight to push, so I figured 4 would be best. And they are efficient engines, so I should be okay on fuel. Right now I think I'll be okay on fuel. We'll see about halfway through this mission how I'll feel about that. So I'm just going to continue burning here until we are where we need to be, and I'll return. And there we have it. We have an escape trajectory away from Kerbin and around the sun. And I'm going to take this opportunity here to give you a view of my ship and what we're going to be working with here. I have the big old solar panels extended because I have this huge inclined reaction wheel in here that takes up a lot of power. But what we're going to be working with here is the lander section, which is pretty obvious on the top here. This part will, when I get to Duna and I want to get to, or Ike, whichever one I decide to go to first, I'm not sure. I'm going to use this entire section to get a good orbit around the body, whichever one it may be, and then I will I'll undock you have two different sections here with docking ports. I'm going to undock, and the lander will go down. It'll do its science, it'll do its thing, and it'll come back. And then it will meet back up with this section, and there is a Kerbal knot in here, and there is a Kerbal knot in here. So we have one person in each section, so I can control both of them, and that is something I learned that's really important when you're trying to dock with a station, is the ability to control both sides. Because I tried it with only being able to control one side before, accidentally bumped into it and sent it spinning on its axis ever so slightly, and it was just so difficult to try to dock it with that, like that. There are RCS thrusters on both sides and RCS tanks on both sides, so I'll be able to control it very well when it comes time to docking. I'm very poor at docking, so I'm hoping that goes well. And if you were looking at this section right here and going, what the fuck is that? Now that I'm around this, on an orbit around the sun, this is not somewhere I've ever been on this playthrough, I need to do some science. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these guys, maybe I have been here before. Let's take a look at the, maybe I'll get away from Kerbin a little bit, and I'll try this again, but basically these are there to do science that isn't that orbital science when I'm around the planets, and then what'll happen is when I get back to Kerbin, hopefully I get back, I will leave this in orbit and send this down and make sure it gets a safe landing, and then I will take the back booster section down, and there's a bunch of parachutes on this capsule here, and this entire section will float down by itself, and I'll be able to recover that science as well. Hopefully that's how it goes. Hopefully. So I'm going to give this a little time, and I'm going to try to plot a good course to Duna, and I will return shortly. Alright, I have an encounter with Duna plotted. It wasn't very hard to get the course plotted. The problem I foresee having is that I'm working with these atomic thrusters that have a very low thrust, and I'm hoping that I have enough, they can give me enough like deceleration to be captured by Duna here, and not fly by and get ejected off into space or something like that. But we'll see soon. I made sure that I only have these contracts here that don't expire, these two, because last time I tried this, you know, it's 38 days to get to my encounter here. When I tried doing this before, some contracts expired and I lost a ton of reputation. So I'm going to wait the 38 days until it's time to burn, and we're going to give this a go. Alright, the burn is complete. It was like a 6-minute long burn. That was by far the largest burn I've ever done in this game. And I used close to half my fuel tanks to get here, which makes me a little bit nervous. We'll see what ends up happening here. But we do have an encounter with Duna over here in 249 days, which means I'm going to need a lot of time compression to get over there. Hopefully, I think I might have to change my mission a little bit, maybe not hit both of them, maybe just do one of them and see if I can get back. Getting to Duna and doing the science hasn't been my problem in the past. Getting to Duna, doing the science, and then having enough fuel to get back to Kerbin has been my problem. So that's what I'm worried about right now. And why are we following that? We need to be following... Can we set our target over here? There we go. Focus on that guy. So that is going to be the problem I'm going to have, is getting there with enough fuel to get back. That's kind of why I'm hoping, like, I did it without the atomic rocket motors before, and it went almost well. I almost got there, and I almost got back. Not quite, but almost. And hopefully with a more efficient engine system, I'll be able to do it better. And we're 7 days away, so I want to use a smaller time compression here. And the extreme time, increments we're talking about here is why I only have those 2 contracts going, because last time I lost so much reputation. So much reputation. So let's see how this goes. We're going to hit this encounter here. Bam. And now what oh, no. Shit. I went too quickly there. Now I'm going to have, oh shit, my escape's in a day. God damn it, I messed that up. So now what I need to do is go to, let's turn on our oh shit, did I have that on the whole time? I think I accidentally burned some monopropellant. I didn't mean to. So we're going to go to our retrograde indicator. Right. Come on, stop. Go back. Go back right here. And crank up the engines. I don't know how slowly I need to be going to get this to work correctly, but I think I'm going to need to burn a healthy amount of fuel to do it. Let's turn the RCS off and actually crank the engine. Engines do overheat. At least in this configuration, they will overheat if you have it cranked all the way up, so I need to turn it down a little bit. So I'm going to see how much fuel I need to burn to get into an orbit here, and I will return. I am in an orbit over Duna, clearly. It is not a very good orbit. It is pretty cocked off to the side. I was really hoping it would be a little flatter, but it's not, so I'm just going to have to deal with that. I do not have nearly as much fuel left as I liked. This rocket is not as efficient, or I'm not doing it as efficiently as I would like, but I still want to continue on with the mission and attempt to make a go of it. So what I'm going to do is decouple these sections right here, and actually, while I'm here, we're going to take an observation over Duna. That'll be worth a good amount of science. And now it's time to work with this guy. Let's make sure there's someone in here. Yes, there is. And what I'm going to do is decouple. And now what I need to do is activate these engines. Make sure that the thrust is down. Activate engine. There we go. And now let's just push off a little bit. There we go. Okay, now this guy's in an orbit, and the whole plan... The plan is to land with this dude and then come back up and meet with this guy. I'm going to have to completely scrap the idea of trying to do Duna and Ike in the same time. I'm not even sure if this will get back. So let's see if what we can work with in terms of a landing. Now, all I should need to do is let's see. Let's do this efficiently. So I'm going to wait till I'm here. Maybe I can do this and to try to stabilize my orbit. Now, you know what? I'm landing. It really doesn't matter that much. So let's just put in a maneuver here. And I don't really need a maneuver. I kind of know what I'm doing, but I just want to make sure that this is going to work. Okay, I'm going to hit in a decent spot. Yeah, that's really close to the surface there. So what I'm going to do is burn like this. Let's see, it's 45 minutes till we get there, so I can just... I don't need to cut any of this out for just 45 minutes, I don't think. I've never done this before. This is brand new to me. Landing on the polar caps, that'd just be cool. I really like doing it. It looks like it clearly is supposed to look like Mars. It looks really nice. Can't wait to get down to the surface and see what it looks like down there. Oh, this is going to be this is going to be harrowing. This is not anything I've done before. I don't know what to expect. I don't know if it's like the moon. I don't know if it's like Minmus. I think it's probably bigger than the moon. Seems like it should be bigger than the moon, so it should be a little rougher on the landing, a little more. It's going to require a little more finesse. So let's get this going. Let's burn. Don't need to burn too much. Don't need to burn a lot. Let's get this down to pretty close. Less than 10, maybe 10. 10 is good. All right. Now what I'm going to do is flip around, speed this up till we flip around to the other side, and I can finish with another burn, and that'll put me down on the surface. The surface doesn't look too bad. As long as I don't land on the rim of this crater here, I think I should be probably okay. Although, now that I'm getting closer to the surface, it's making me slow down. So let's see how we're doing here. Oh my god, does that ever look cool? That looks so neat. Alright, my battery's fine, so I can keep my lights on for now. That just looks so cool. I've never been here before, so I'm just taking in the sights. Alright, let's turn the RCS off. I don't necessarily need that on right now. This thing is pretty... It's a little sluggish on the controls, but it's okay. Let's just start pointing retrograde. You know what I should probably check? The atmosphere in here. Let's actually put this back down. So I don't want to rip it off. I don't know if there's going to be re-entry here. You know, how much wind or air resistance there's going to be, or not. It's not going to be air. It's going to be, you know, atmospheric resistance. Let's see, where are we right now? We are right here. Okay, I'm going to speed this up a little bit and get closer to the ground, and I will rejoin you when it's time to land. Alright, now there was some atmospheric resistance here because as I got closer to the planet's surface, my surface speed started cutting down here, so there clearly was some. Now let's take a burn and put our gear down. I don't think I'm going to need lights, so I'll turn those off. No, I already had them off, I think. We're good, so let's just keep burning till we slow down. And, oh, where's my gear? There we go. Sometimes it takes a couple clicks. So I'm assuming that because this is bigger than the moon, it's going to require a little more finesse. probably going to fall a little quicker. I wonder if parachute... you can't pack a parachute, can you? I don't think I can. I'm not even sure if there's enough atmosphere here to for the parachute to deploy. So that's probably not... probably won't even work. Alright, surface speed is starting to get lower. Alright, I'm going to cut this now because we're still pretty high up from the surface. It looks like I'm really far, at least. Sometimes these readings are a little finicky, so let's just speed this up a little. Okay. Looks like I'm getting closer now, and definitely time to do another burn. I think I'm going to be okay in terms of fuel for this guy getting back up into orbit and meeting up with the mother section. Oh my god! Oh, the ground's coming up a lot quicker than... Oh, no, no, no! Oh, no! Oh! Oh, fuck! Oh, fuck. Oh, that was bad. Oh, that was real bad. Oh, that was awful. I completely misjudged that. The ground came up so much quicker than I expected it to. And I slammed into the surface of Duna, going 66 meters per second. That was far too fast than the, 8 those legs are built to withstand. Oh, shit! Oh, that is a failure. At least it's beautiful. I died in a beautiful spot. That was a failure. So what I'm going to do... Now, this whole thing basically didn't work. I'm ready to say this mission was a failure and that I'm going to need to rework it and try this again. Alright, I've decided that this was just too ambitious. I'm going to have to try to do this in 2 missions, I think. Well, hopefully. What I'm going to do is kind of a learning experiment. Next episode, I'm going to send a manned craft to orbit Duna, and then to orbit Ike, and then come back. I'm not going to try landing. All this lander stuff is pretty heavy. So reducing the weight will help a lot, and I'm going to try to redo these engines down here so I'm more efficient. Maybe do 3 or 2 instead of 4. But anyway, I'm going to give this another go later, and hopefully it'll be a success. This mission was a failure. So if you've enjoyed this episode, just drop me a like, leave me a comment down below, and if you're interested in more Benjamin Magnus Plays Kerbal Space Program, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.